I shelled out 40 grand for this family reunion trip, some fancy mountain lodge in Colorado, all pine logs and big windows looking out over snowy peaks. It was supposed to be a good time, a chance to bring everybody together after years of drifting apart. I'd paid for it all, the plane tickets, the catered meals, the hot tubs bubbling under the stars. That night, we're all sitting around this long oak table, plates piled high with prime rib and mashed potatoes, the kind of spread that says money ain't a problem. My cousin Eddie, he's got this loud, gravelly voice that cuts through everything, stands up, hoisting his beer like he's about to drop some wisdom. To Jimmy, he says, grinning like a fox. The guy who never could figure it out till we dragged him along. A couple folks chuckle. My sister Lisa smirks into her glass of red wine. My old man, he just keeps chewing, eyes on his plate like he's studying it for clues. I'm sitting there, fork in hand, staring at these people. My people, eating food I paid for, drinking booze I bought, lounging in a place I rented. $40,000, man. Private chef, ski passes, the works. And here's Eddie, acting like I'm still the screw-up kid who couldn't tie his shoes right. See, I'm not like them. Never was. My brother Tommy, he's the star, took over Dad's hardware store chain, kept it humming along. Lisa, she's the angel, married some hotshot real estate guy, throws these big fundraisers for sick kids, or whatever. Me? I'm the oddball. Dropped out of college, started fixing up old cars in my garage. They called me Grease Monkey Jimmy at Thanksgiving one year. Thought it was hilarious. Tommy even said I'd be lucky to scrape by selling hubcaps. Eddie chimed in with, "Least he's good for something. Keeps the junkyards busy." I fired back, "Yeah, and I'll still out-earn you." Which got me a glare from Mom, but I didn't care. They never asked how my little car gig turned out, though. Never cared that I flipped a rusty '67 Mustang for a profit, then another, then started a shop. Didn't notice when I landed deals with rich collectors, restoring classics for more than Dad's stores made in a year. Nope, to them, I'm still the guy with oil under his nails, not worth a damn cause I didn't follow their playbook. But that night, something in me snapped. I'd had enough of swallowing it down, letting their jabs roll off me cause family's family. Not this time. I push my chair back, stand up, and grab my beer. A toast, I say, keeping it easy at first. Everybody looks over, surprised. I don't do speeches. To the folks who never let me forget, I'm the bottom of the barrel. Tommy snorts, thinking I'm joking. Eddie's still grinning. I keep going. And to me, for footing the bill for this whole damn trip. The room goes quiet. Eddie's smile drops. Lisa's eyes flick up from her wine. Dad's fork stops halfway to his mouth. 40 grand, I say, taking a swig. For the lodge, the food, the lift tickets you've all been loving. So here's to the screw-up who somehow keeps you all warm and fed with my greasy money. I raise my bottle higher. Cheers. Nobody says a word. Tommy's face twists like he bit into something sour. Lisa lets out this little laugh, all nervous, and goes, "Oh, come on, Eddie didn't mean it like that." Didn't he? I shoot back, locking eyes with him. Eddie mumbles, "Just messing around, man, but it's weak." I grin, but it's sharp. Funny, I don't hear anybody laughing now. I finish my beer and sit down, letting it sink in. The prime rib doesn't taste so great anymore. Not for them, anyway. Me, I'm just getting started. Dad clears his throat, that old trick he pulls when he's about to play peacemaker, but he doesn't say anything. Eddie's staring at the table like it's got the meaning of life carved into it. Mom's buttering her roll, acting like this is all beneath her. I lean back, waiting. Finally, Tommy pipes up, setting his knife down real slow. "It's not about the money, Jimmy," he says, all high and mighty. "It's about what we stand for." I laugh. Can't help it. "Oh yeah? And what's that?" "'Cause last I checked, your fancy hardware empire's been leaning on Dad's loans for years." His jaw tightens. "We're building something real," he says. "History. A name people respect. You wouldn't get that, tinkering with your junkers." I tap my fingers on the table. "Right. So when your real business tanks, that's noble. But me making bank fixing cars? That's trash. Tell me, Tommy, who paid for your new truck last year when the store couldn't cover it?" He flinches. Lisa jumps in, voice all syrupy. "Nobody's saying you don't work hard, Jimmy. Could have fooled me." I say, leaning forward. "Every time my job comes up, you all act like I'm some bum. Meanwhile, I'm the only one here who can drop 40 grand on a family trip without blinking." Tommy's face goes red. "You think you're hot stuff cause you've got cash?" "No," I say, calm as hell. "I think it's funny you all look down on me till you need something." The silence hits like a brick. Dad's knuckles are white around his glass. Eddie's still mute. Mom's roll shredded on her plate. I stand up again. "Enjoy the rest of the trip," I say, heading for the door. "You're welcome, by the way." And I walk out, leaving them to stew in it. For once, I ain't cleaning up their crap. I didn't stick around to see their faces after I dropped that bomb at dinner. I grabbed my coat and headed out to the lodge's deck, the cold Colorado air hitting me like a slap. The stars were out, sharp and bright over the mountains, and I could hear the wind whistling through the pines. Inside, they were probably still sitting there, forks hovering over their plates, trying to figure out what the hell just happened. Good. Let 'em squirm. I leaned on the railing, my breath fogging up in front of me, and pulled a cigar from my pocket, something I'd been saving for a quiet moment. I lit it up, the glow cutting through the dark, and took a long drag. For the first time that night, I felt like I could breathe. See, I'd been hauling around their crap for years, those little digs, the sideways looks, the way they'd talk over me like I wasn't even there. Growing up, Tommy was the golden boy, straight A's, football captain, the one Dad bragged about at the barbershop. Lisa, she was the princess, all dolled up for pageants, then snagging a rich husband like it was her job. Me, I was the kid who'd rather tear apart an engine than crack a textbook. Dad used to say, "Jimmy, you're gonna end up pumping gas if you don't shape up." Mom just sigh and tell me to stop tracking grease into the house. They never got it, never saw that I loved the work, that I was good at it. When I dropped out of college to open my shop, they acted like I'd signed up for a life sentence of failure. But here's the thing, they didn't know squat about what I'd built. That first car I flipped, a beat-up '72 Chevy Nova, netted me $5,000 profit. I poured it back in, bought another wreck, fixed it up, sold it higher. Pretty soon, I had a garage, then a crew, then guys with deep pockets calling me up, wanting their vintage rides restored. Last year, I cleared $500,000. Easy. Not that I ever told them the numbers, they'd just assume I was lying or lucked into it. Nah, they'd rather keep me in their little box, Jimmy the Grease Monkey, the family joke. Except now, that joke had paid for their fancy vacation, and I just rubbed their noses in it. The deck door creaked behind me, and I didn't need to turn around to know it was Lisa. She's got this way of walking, all light and careful, like she's afraid of breaking something. "Jimmy," she said, her voice soft, like she was talking to a spooked horse. I didn't answer, just puffed on my cigar. She stepped up beside me, wrapping her arms around herself against the chill. "You didn't have to do that, you know," she said. I snorted. "Do what?" "Tell the truth." She sighed, that long, dramatic thing she does when she's trying to play the good cop. "You embarrassed everybody. Eddie was just kidding around." "Yeah." I turned to her, blowing smoke off to the side. Funny how his kidding always makes me the punchline. Funny how none of you ever stick up for me. Her mouth opened, then shut, like she didn't have a comeback ready. "We're family," she said finally, like that explained everything. "Family don't treat each other like that." I shot back. "Family don't sit there laughing while I bankroll their good time, then act like I'm still the loser cause I don't wear a tie to work." She looked down at her boots, scuffing the wood. "It's not about the money," she mumbled. Same line Tommy tried. "Then what's it about, Lisa?" "Cause from where I'm standing, it's about you all needing me to feel better about yourselves." She flinched, but I wasn't done. "You ever ask what I make? What my shop pulls in?" "Nah, you don't. You just assume I'm scraping by, cause that fits your story." "Well, here's a newsflash. I'm doing better than Tommy's stores, better than your husband's shady land deals, and I did it without Dad bailing me out every other year." Her eyes flicked up, wide. "That's not fair," she said, but it was weak. "Fair." I laughed, short and hard. "Fair's me sitting in there taking it while you all live off my dime. I'm done with fair." She stood there, quiet, the wind tugging at her hair. I could tell she wanted to fix it, smooth it over like she always did, but I wasn't giving her an out. "Go back inside," I said, turning back to the mountains. "Enjoy the trip. I paid for it." She hesitated, then I heard her boots shuffle away, the door clicking shut behind her. I took another pull on my cigar, the smoke curling up into the night. For once, I wasn't mad, just tired. Tired of pretending, tired of playing their game. I'd spent the last 2 days dodging them, hitting the slope solo, sipping coffee by the fire without their voices in my ear. It was peaceful, man, like the lodge finally felt like mine. But I knew it wouldn't last. They don't let go that easy. Next morning, I'm coming back from a snowmobile run, cheeks numb from the cold, when I see Dad waiting in the lodge's big leather armchair by the fireplace. He's got a mug of something steaming in his hand, but his face looks like he's been chewing nails. "We gotta talk," he says, voice low and gruff, the way it gets when he's serious. I peel off my gloves, toss him on the table, and sit across from him. "All right," I say, leaning back. "Talk." He takes a sip, sets the mug down real slow. "The stores are in bad shape," he says, cutting straight to it. I raise an eyebrow. "Yeah?" Shocker. He glares at me, but keeps going. "Tommy's been trying to expand, open new locations, but it's not working. We're bleeding cash. Bank's done giving us rope." I nod, letting it hang there. "And," I say, cause I know there's more. He rubs his jaw, looking older than I've ever seen him. "We need help, Jimmy. Real help." There it is, the ask. I lean forward, elbows on my knees. "Let me get this straight. You spent my whole life telling me I'm not cut out for your world, laughing at my shop like it's a hobby. Now you're here, hat in hand, cause Tommy's run your precious business into the dirt. It's not just about us," he says, voice tight. "There's employees, families counting on those jobs." I smirk. "Funny how it's families now. Where was that line when you were ragging on me in front of yours?" He doesn't answer, just stares into the fire. I sit back, crossing my arms. "So what's the play, Dad? You want to check? My name on your letterhead?" "What?" He looks at me, eyes hard. "I want you to step up." I laugh, can't help it. "Step up?" "Man, I've been stepping up. Who paid for this trip? Who's been keeping his head above water while you all sink? I'm not your damn lifeboat." He doesn't say anything for a long beat, just watches the flames. Then he stands, slow, like it hurts. Think about it, he says, and walks off. I sit there, the fire crackling, and shake my head. They're desperate, all right. But I ain't their fix, not this time. After Dad dropped his little save us speech by the fireplace, I figured I'd get a breather, maybe a day or two of peace before they came at me again. Nope. Next morning, I'm out on the lodge's back porch, sipping black coffee and watching the sun climb over the peaks when Mom shows up. She's got this big quilted coat on, steam curling off her tea mug, looking like she's been up plotting since dawn. Morning, Jimmy, she says, all sweet and casual, like we're about to chat about the weather. I nod, not taking the bait. Morning. She sits down across from me, that little smile of hers fixed in place, the one she uses when she's about to sell you something. I take a long sip, waiting. She doesn't waste much time. Your father's pretty torn up, she says, stirring her tea real slow. He doesn't get why you're digging your heels in like this. I snort into my mug. Oh, I don't know, Mom. Maybe 'cause you've all spent years treating me like the family punching bag, and now you want me to play hero. She tilts her head, like I just said something cute but dumb. Don't be so hard on us, honey. This isn't about who's right or wrong. It's about sticking together. I set my coffee down, leaning back. Sticking together? That's rich. Where was that when you were all giggling about my grease monkey life? Or when Dad said I'd never amount to nothing 'cause I didn't take his path? She brushes it off, smooth as ever. We just want what's best for you. Always have. Yeah, I say, crossing my arms. Funny how what's best always meant me fitting into your picture. Tommy's the boss, Lisa's the saint, and I'm the screw-up you tolerate till you need cash. Her smile tightens, just a hair, but she keeps it up. You're taking this all wrong. We're proud of you, Jimmy. I laugh loud enough that a couple birds scatter from the trees. Proud? Mom, you've never once asked about my shop. Never cared that I turned a rusty heap into a business that's outpacing Dad's stores. You're only here 'cause Tommy's tanked everything, and now I'm your golden ticket. She sets her mug down, hands folding neat in her lap. It's not just about money, she says, voice dropping a notch. It's about family. The stores, they're our legacy. Your legacy, too. I shake my head, grinning despite myself. Legacy? You mean the mess Tommy made trying to play big shot? The one Dad's been propping up with loans he can't pay back? That ain't my legacy, Mom. I built my own, grease and all. She leans forward, eyes locking on mine. You could do so much more with us. Come back, help us fix this. You've got a head for business, better than you think. I sit up straight, meeting her gaze. You're damn right I've got a head for business. That's why my shop's thriving while your legacy is circling the drain. And now you want me to ditch what I built to bail out Tommy's screw-ups? Nah, I'm good. Her calm cracks a little, just a flicker. This isn't about Tommy, she snaps, then catches herself, softening again. It's about all of us. If the stores go under, what happens to your brother? To his family? To Lisa, to me, and your dad? There it is, the guilt trip, right on schedule. I lean back, letting it hang there for a sec, so that's the angle, huh? Can't win me over with family pride, so you hit me with the think of the kids card. She doesn't flinch this time. I'm asking you to do what's right. I stand up, coffee mug in hand, and look down at her. Right for who, Mom? 'Cause from where I'm standing, you're asking me to light my life on fire so you don't have to deal with the ashes you made. I've been cleaning up after this family my whole damn life, taking the hits, eating the jokes. Not this time. She stares up at me, something like surprise in her eyes, but she recovers quick. You don't mean that, she says, quiet. You'll always be part of us. I shake my head, turning for the door. Part of you? Maybe. But I don't need your club to know who I am. I step inside, but she's not done. What about Tommy's girls? She calls after me. Your nieces, they'll lose everything if this falls apart. I stop, hand on the knob, and look back. Lose everything? Like what fancy vacations they didn't pay for. Tell you what, Mom, if Tommy's so worried about his kids, maybe you should have thought twice before betting the farm on a bad move. Her mouth tightens, but she doesn't fire back. I shrug. You need a fix for this. Hire somebody. I hear good help's hard to come by, especially when you've spent years crapping on the one guy who's got it figured out. I walk off, leaving her out there with her tea and her quilted coat, the mountains staring back at her. I spend the rest of the day keeping my distance, hit the trails, crank some tunes in my room, let the lodge's quiet sink in. It's nice, man, not having their voices buzzing in my head. But I know they're not done. That night, I'm grilling a burger on the lodge's outdoor kitchen, nothing fancy, just me and some meat, when Tommy shows up. He's got his hands in his pockets, that cocky strut he's had since high school, but his eyes look tired. Hey, he says, leaning against the railing. I flip the burger, not looking up. Hey. He shifts, awkward. Mom said you're pretty pissed. Mom's got a knack for stating the obvious, I say, slapping a bun on the plate. He clears his throat. Look, I get it, all right? We've been hard on you. But this ain't a game, Jimmy. The stores, they're done if we don't pull something off quick. I turn, spatula in hand. And that's my problem, Hal? He frowns, like I just spoke gibberish. Your family, man. You've got the cash, the know-how. You could turn this around. I laugh, setting the spatula down. Turn it around? Tommy, you ran it into the ground chasing some big shot dream. Why the hell should I drop everything to fix your mess? His jaw tightens. It's not just my mess. It's Dad's, too. You gonna let him lose everything 'cause you're mad? I grab my burger, take a bite, and chew slow, making him wait. Here's the deal, I say finally, wiping my mouth. I've been hearing how I don't measure up since I was a kid. Now you're here 'cause you need me, not 'cause you respect me, not 'cause you're sorry, but 'cause you're desperate. So no, Tommy, I ain't letting Dad lose anything. You are. And I'm done being your safety net. He stares at me, face hard, then shakes his head. You're a real piece of work, you know that? Yeah, I say, grinning. And this piece of work's eating dinner. Night. He storms off, and I finish my burger under the stars, the grill still sizzling. They're running out of moves, but I know they've got one more up their sleeve. Always do. Tommy stomping off after our burger showdown didn't surprise me one bit. That's his move, get mad, walk away, let somebody else fix it. I figured they'd regroup, come at me with something new, and I was right. Couple days later, I'm back in town, trips over, lodge keys turned in, 40 grand lighter, and my phone starts buzzing. It's an old buddy, Rick, who runs a parts shop I buy from sometimes. Jimmy, man, he says, voice low, just a heads up, your name's popping up in some weird talk. Folks saying your shop's a front, like you're moving dirty money or something. I grip the phone tighter, leaning against my workbench. Let me guess, I say. Family. Rick pauses. Didn't say that, but, yeah, smells like it. I hang up, staring at the '69 Camaro I'm restoring, its hood propped open like a patient on the table. They're pulling the old smear trick. If they can't guilt me into helping, they'll try to tank me. Make me look shady, scare off my clients, force me back to their side. Classic Tommy and Dad. Hit low when the high road fails. I ain't shocked, just pissed. I've spent years building this, hustling, wrenching, shaking hands with guys who trust me to bring their dream cars back to life. Now they're out there whispering I'm a crook? Nah, that ain't flying. Next day, I hear it again. This time from a customer, some rich dude with a Porsche I fixed last month. He's all twitchy, asking if everything's on the up and up with my shop. I play it cool, tell him it's just noise from jealous folks, but inside I'm boiling. They're hitting my rep, the one thing I've got that's mine. So I decide to hit back. There's this big auto show coming up that weekend. Collectors, dealers, gearheads from all over. Tommy and Dad always go, schmoozing for their hardware stores, acting like big shots. Perfect spot to flip the script. I roll up Saturday morning in my restored '57 Chevy Bel Air, cherry red, chrome gleaming, a beauty that turns heads before I even park. I've got a booth set up, my shop's name in bold letters, Jimmy's Classic Rides. Folks swarm it quick, guys snapping pics, asking about my work, handing me business cards. I'm in my element, talking carbs and paint jobs, when I spot Dad and Tommy across the floor. They're working a crowd, but their eyes keep flicking my way. Good. Let them see this. Midway through, there's a panel, local business owners talking shop. Tommy's up there, yapping about community values and family tradition, same old garbage. I wait till he's done, then step up when they open the mic. Name's Jimmy, I say, voice steady. Run a restoration shop here in town. Just signed a deal with a national car club. Gonna be fixing up classics coast to coast. The room buzzes, heads turning. Been at it 10 years, I go on. Built it from nothing, no loans, no handouts. Funny thing, though, some folks still think it's small time 'cause I don't sit in an office. A few laughs ripple through. I lock eyes with Dad. Guess results speak louder than talk. The place claps, loud, and I see Tommy's face go tight. Dad's just staring, hands in his pockets. After, people crowd my booth, collectors, a couple reporters, even a guy from a TV show about cars. They're eating it up, and I'm handing out cards left and right. Tommy storms over later, red-faced. What the hell was that, he snaps. I grin, wiping my hands on a rag. That was me working, Tommy. You ought to try it. He steps closer. You think this changes anything? You're still a nobody playing with toys. I laugh. Toys that just stole your spotlight, man. How's that tradition working out for you? He doesn't answer, just glares and walks off. Dad hangs back, watching, but doesn't say a word. I turn back to my booth, shaking hands with a guy who wants his Cuda redone. They tried to bury me, but I just climbed higher. That night, I crack a beer in my garage, the Bel Air sitting pretty. They're out of moves, or so I think. Monday rolls around, and I'm elbow deep in that Camaro when my shop phone rings. It's Lisa. Jimmy, can we talk? She says, voice all soft and careful again. I wipe grease off my hands, figuring she's the next wave. Sure, I say. What's up? She hesitates. Can I come by? Not over the phone. I shrug, even though she can't see it. Yeah, I'm here. An hour later, she pulls up in her shiny SUV, stepping out in heels that don't belong in a garage. She's got a coffee for me, some fancy latte thing, and hands it over like a peace offering. Thanks, I say, setting it on the bench. So what's the pitch? She sighs, leaning against a toolbox. No pitch. I wanted to say I'm sorry. I raise an eyebrow, waiting. For what? She fiddles with her keys. For how we've treated you. The jokes, the way we acted like your shop didn't matter. I didn't see it till the trip. How much you've done, how we took it for granted. I sip the latte, too sweet, but I don't say it. All right, I say. Appreciate that. But there's a but coming, right? She nods, slow. The stores are toast, Jimmy. Tommy's expansion flopped. Dad's tapped out. They're shutting half the locations next month unless something changes. I set the cup down, crossing my arms. And you're here to ask me to change it. She shakes her head quick. No. Well, yeah, they want that. But I'm not here for them. I'm here because I hate this. Us fighting. You out there alone. You're my brother, man. Her voice cracks a little, and I can tell she means it. Lisa, I say, I ain't alone. I've got my crew, my clients, my life. You all made it clear I don't fit your mold, and I'm cool with that now. She looks down. We were wrong. I was wrong. You're killing it. And we're the ones falling apart. I lean on the Camaro, thinking. So what's the ask? 'Cause I ain't writing a check to prop up Tommy's ego. She smiles small. No check. Just, maybe some advice? You've got a knack for this stuff, turning nothing into something. Could you talk to Dad? Show him how to pivot? Not for free. I mean, like a consultant or whatever. I laugh, shaking my head. You want me to fix Dad's mess for a fee? She shrugs. Why not? You're good at it. And maybe it'd be a way back in on your terms. I don't answer right away. It's a curveball, Lisa owning up, asking for help without begging. I'll think about it, I say finally. No promises. She nods, relieved. That's all I wanted. Thanks, Jimmy. She heads out, and I'm left with the latte and a half-fixed engine, mulling it over. Later, I call Rick. Hey, man, you still hearing that noise about me? I ask. Not, he says. Died down after that show. People are talking about your deal now, not the rumors. I grin. Good. Keep me posted. Maybe Lisa's onto something, my rules, my game. But I ain't rushing in yet. A week later, Dad shows up at the shop. No call, no heads up, just him in his old truck, pulling into my lot like it's 1995, and he's picking me up from baseball. I'm sanding a fender when he walks in, hands in his jacket, looking around at the cars like he's never seen him before. Nice setup, he says, gruff. I nod, keeping the sander going for a sec before shutting it off. Yeah, it's home. What's up? He shifts, uncomfortable. Heard you talk to Lisa. Yep, I say, wiping my hands. She apologized. Said you're in deep. He nods, slow, eyes on the floor. We are. Worse than I let on at the lodge. Banks calling loans, suppliers won't ship till we pay up. Tommy's out of ideas. I lean on the workbench, waiting. And he looks up, face lined and tired. I don't know what to do, Jimmy. Never thought it'd get this bad. That's the closest I've ever heard him to admitting he's lost. So why were you here? I ask. Lisa said you might help. Not money, just point us somewhere. You've got a head for this, better in me or your brother. I cross my arms, studying him. You spent my whole life telling me I'd never cut it. Now you want my brain 'cause yours ran dry. He flinches, but doesn't dodge it. I was wrong, he says, voice low. About you, about your work. I saw you at that show, people respect you. I didn't get it till now. I don't say anything, letting him stew. I ain't asking for a handout, he goes on. Pay you what I can, consultant rate, whatever. Just help me save what's left. I grab a rag, toss it on the bench. All right, I say. Here's the deal. I'll look at your books, give you a plan, my way. No Tommy butting in, no legacy bullshit. You do what I say, or I'm out. And it's $50 an hour. His eyes widen, but he nods. Fair. We shake on it. First time in years our hands don't feel like a fight. Next day, he brings the numbers, ugly as hell. Overextended leases, bad inventory bets, Tommy's dumb expansion eating cash like a hawk. I lay it out, close 3 stores, sell the rest to a chain, use the cash to rebuild 1 location lean and mean. Won't be big, I tell him, but it'll breathe. He takes it in, quiet. Tommy won't like it. Tommy's why you're here, I say. He don't get a vote. Dad nods, and I see something shift. He's listening, really listening. Takes a week, but he pulls it off, sells out, keeps 1 store, starts turning it around. I check in, tweak things, cash the checks. It's weird, man, working with him like this, but it's on my turf now. 6 months later, I'm in my office. Yeah, I've got one now. Small spot above the shop. View of the lot where my crew's wrenching on a 66 GTO. Phone rings. It's Dad. Jimmy, he says, store's breaking even. First time in years. I grin, leaning back. Told you it'd work. He chuckles, a rare sound. You did. Oh, you won. You paid me, I say. We're square. He pauses. Not just for this. For sticking to your guns. Maybe see some things. I don't push it. Don't need to. Glad it's running, I say. Keep it simple, all right? Will do, he says, and hangs up. Tommy's still sore, barely talks to me, blames me for shrinking the empire. Lisa's cool, though, stops by sometimes with coffee, no strings. Mom's quiet, adjusting to the new normal. Me, I'm good, shop's booming, new contracts rolling in, and I'm sleeping fine knowing I didn't cave. Last week, I took the Bel Air out, cruised the back roads, radio loud. Stopped at a diner, got a burger, watched the sun dip low. Felt right, man, like I'd finally shaken the weight. They're still family, sure, but it's different now. I'm not their punching bag or their ATM. I'm Jimmy, guy who fixes cars, makes bank, lives his way. And if they don't like it, that's their problem. I've got mine handled.